No fewer than 5 persons have been confirmed killed by gunmen in Rawuru village of Fan district in Barkinladi local government area of Plateau State. Plateau State Police Public Relations Officer Yapev Matthias confirmed to Channels Television that the gunmen opened fire on a group of young boys returning from a festive celebration, killing 5 of them and injuring several others. The police spokesman added that investigations into the incident is ongoing, while the Rawuru attack victims have been given mass burial this morning. The attack follows a similar incident on Christmas Day at Mafeng Hotel, where 3 people were reportedly killed. You're watching the news at 10 on Channels Television, reaching you live from Lagos. Let's cross over to our Abuja studios, where Ibrahim Adra is standing by to take us through a couple of more stories. Ibrahim.
Many thanks indeed, Gimba. Now, the Nigerian police force says it is tracking the remaining suspects allegedly involved in the murder of the former Chief of Defense Staff, Air Chief Marshal Alex Badeh, following the arrest of 5 of them. Addressing a news conference in Abuja, the Force Public Relations Officer, Mr. Jimo Moshood, said 2 principal suspects and 3 other alleged collaborators in the crime have been arrested. According to the police spokesperson, the suspects were not paraded as investigations are still on.
On the directive of the Inspector General of Police, IGP Brian K. Idris MP MNI, that the Police Joint Investigation Team set up by the IGP and mandated within shortest possible time to arrest all those responsible for the killing of the former Chief of Defense Staff, Air Chief Marshal Alex Badeh, on the 18th of December 2018 in Nasarawa. 2 principal suspects who participated in the killing of the former Chief of Defense Staff, Air Chief Marshal Alex Badeh, and 3 other suspects connected to the crime that they carried out on the 18th of December 2018 have been arrested by the Intelligence Response Team of the IGP and the Special Tactical Squad. These suspects are currently in police custody, undergoing investigation. I equally want to add for the public to know that the investigation into the killing is being intensified to arrest other suspects still at large. It is of significant note for the public to equally be aware that the parade of these 2 principal suspects and the 3 other gang members will not come up today, so as not to jeopardize the ongoing investigation.
And still on security matters, the Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Sadiq Abubakar, boasts that the Nigerian Air Force has all it takes to deal with the security issues in the country. Air Marshal Abubakar, who offered the observation during a recent visit to Sokoto State, insists the Air Force will ensure that Nigeria's territorial security is protected. He says the visit is intended to critically look at the Air Force unit in Sokoto State with a view to upgrading it to enhance their operations in the northwest. The chairman of the Presidential Advisory Committee on Eliminating Drug Abuse, General Buba Marwa, has described the problems of drug abuse in the country as very alarming and requiring a state of emergency. He made this observation while addressing journalists in Yola, the Adamawa state capital. Mr. Marwa says the country is in a crisis situation, and unless something is done, future generations face destruction.
There are 2 sides to it. You cannot have drug abuse without the drugs. So the thing is, you have to interfere with the supply of drugs and, of course, the demand of it. We are going to go down and visit institutions at the bottom level. We are going to, for instance, visit the airports, international airports, the seaports. We will look at how the various agencies, Customs, NAFDAC, NDLEA, Immigration, and the others, how they interact, how they work together towards preventing drugs from getting into the country.
Now, the age-long dispute over land ownership between the people of Offa and Erinle in Kwara State may soon be over, following the Supreme Court's affirmation of Erinle as the rightful owners. However, representatives of our community are faulting the court's judgment.
For the past 40 years, the communities of Ofa and Erile have been at loggerheads. The reason? Undefined land boundaries that spread from the Federal Polytechnic Ofa to the Ofa Community Hall. Several communal clashes between the two communities have led to the destruction of lives and properties. Legal action had been taken in the past to address the issue, but none stuck. In 1973, a Supreme Court had ruled Erile as the true landowners. However, the dispute lingered on. On December 14, 2018, another ruling was passed by the Supreme Court, revalidating the land ownership to Erile.
Like any other court case, it started from High Court. They lost. They appealed to Court of Appeal. They lost. They eventually appealed to the final court of the land, the Supreme Court. And on the 14th of December, just a few days back, the Supreme Court not only dismissed the appeal, awarded the cost of 500,000 naira in favor of Erile, and classified the appeal as abuse of court process.
But it seems the court's decision is not going down well with the Ofa community.
We have no right to continue to discuss with you on this issue for now, because we are in a festive mood. Ofa is undergoing what we call the festival now, heritage now. So what they've told you there, we will not give any concrete response apart from telling you that is not true. When you come back in January or some other time in the future, we'll give you a detailed, balanced view.
The Erile community say the necessary steps will be taken to ensure the lands are lawfully and dutifully transferred to the rightful owners.
Unlike in the 1973 judgment that we didn't take steps, this time around, I can tell the whole world that we're going to repossess our land peacefully and in accordance with the rule of the court. So, how we're going to do it is not yet determined.
A dispute that should have been laid to rest in 1973 hopefully will be resolved with both parties choosing the path of peace.
And for more on the news at 10, we rejoin Gimba in our Lagos studio. Gimba.
In whatever situation you find yourself, the only solution is Jesus Christ. These are the words of the National Overseer of the Redeemed Christian Church of God, Pastor Joseph Obayemi, who led a delegation to visit inmates in the Kirikiri Maximum Prison in Lagos. As part of its corporate social responsibility, the church also donated 1,200 bags of rice and opened the reference hospital in the prison renovated by the mission.
Thank you once again. God bless you.
It's another festive season which is all about giving and sharing with loved ones and the less privileged. This is the reason top officials of the Redeemed Christian Church of God have paid a visit to the Liberty Chapel at the Kirikiri Maximum Prison.
When I look at the situation here, there is only one solution. And the solution is nothing and no other one, no other name than Jesus Christ himself.
At the service, one of the inmates shares on how the messages from the General Overseer, Pastor E.E. Adeboye, has impacted him.
Here last year he was preaching and he said there is somebody here, you're on death row, don't give up on your dreams, God will come true for you and you will not die here and all of that. I believe he was talking to me. I'm still here though, but I can tell you I am growing.
The church also commissions the newly renovated reference hospital and donates food items to the inmates.
You see us giving them 1,200 bags of rice and 1,000 open heaven. And if a reader of open heaven today, that is saying that is our General Overseer, Pastor E. Adeboye, is saying that we must feed people spiritually as well as bodily.
This will go a long way in alleviating the suffering of our inmates, in the sense that now that we have an hospital that is well equipped with a theater, it means that we will not be taking our inmates to outside hospital on a constant level as it used to be.
This outreach is part of the church's Christian social responsibility and is aimed at encouraging inmates to embrace Jesus Christ.
Let's shift gears now, shall we, to business news with Anne Waudo.
Thanks a lot, Gimba. Welcome to Business News. Tonight, Nigeria's organized labor private sector has asked the federal government to speed up economic diversification as oil prices continue to fall at the international market. The Director General of the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Mr. Muda Yusuf, explains that this will boost foreign direct investment into the country and counter the impact of lower oil prices on the economy. He warns the federal government's projections for the 2019 fiscal year, as well as the 3-year medium-term expenditure framework, remain at risk if the trend continues. The federal government has put the benchmark for Nigeria's 2019 budget at $60 per barrel, while oil prices are currently hovering between $50 and $52 per barrel. And let's see how the local stock market fared at the close of trade today. Moderate sell pressure took center stage at the close of business as the domestic stock market resumed trading after a 2-day Christmas holiday. Chimezie Obiwagu has the details for us.
Thank you, Anne, and welcome to the Stock Market Report. After the Santa rally on Christmas Eve, the equities market resumed trading today with renewed profit-taking in some major stocks. The all-share index dropped 0.86%, but still within the 31,000 mark reached on Monday. The downturn was majorly on Dangote Cement as the earlier gains recorded on that stock were eroded in today's session. As a result, the industrial goods sector got heavily hit, down 2.11%. Now, a closer look at the sectoral indices shows that aside from the industrial goods, the insurance sector also declined, leaving 3 out of the 5 major sectors with track in the green, with the oil and gas sector topping the gainers, all thanks to Forte Oil. Our volume and value were thin compared to the turnover recorded on Christmas Eve. Nonetheless, traders say market fundamentals still look good, and all things being equal, this negative trend will reverse before the year finally winds down. And that was the Stock Market Report. I'm Chimezie Obiwagu. Back to you, Anne.
Thanks a lot, Chimezie. Market sentiment on the global stage also ended today's session mostly in the negative territory. Meanwhile, U.S. market recovered sharply from heavy losses about an hour ago after posting a record-breaking rally earlier. Let's see how they all ended today. With those numbers, we end Business News for tonight. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Anne Waudo.